This is noise. This is curse. This is talk. This is red. This is pale. This is ache. This is laugh. This is slow. This is shock. This is throw. This is fire. This is break. This is snow. This is wish. This is spell. This is cups. This is final. This is fine. This is moon. This is tide. This is hell. This is hers. This is theirs. This is mine.
Thanks to Kim, who's also a superb poet, lyric student, and thanks also to Isaac for sponsoring this series, which I think is a really terrific thing to do for Wimberley. Some of you here already know this, but I thought I'd give you a heads up that I write very surreal, avant-garde poetry. Some people call it experimental poetry, but to me it seems perfectly clear, but to you it might not. This is actually the ultimate venue for me. I've read in different places all over the country, mostly at universities and bookstores, but having a reading in a wine bar is ideal. I've told a lot of my friends that one old friend said the only way she can understand my book is to start with a bottle of wine at the beginning, and then she finally comprehends the poems by the end. So we'll see. I think I'll start with some newer poems. I hope there are no Republicans in the House. This is my George Bush poem, and I became interested a few years ago in this sort of white magic they practiced during the Renaissance, which was incredibly bizarre. And they used to mix up things like powdered lizard skins and all kinds of animal dung, and make these poultices, and people would ingest this stuff, and they would dig up dead bodies, human and otherwise, and create all this medicine. And there are huge books that still exist today that describe how to do this. And I was in such despair about Bush's presidency that I became a little too obsessed with all of this white magic and reading these books. And there's a little bit of that in this poem and in a lot of my poems over the last couple years about George Bush. So, welcome to the motorcycle church of the Savior, where a fricassee of quail testicles, crushed amber, metal knuckles, musk, applied daily, will straighten just about any bent penis. After the slap, my love for you breaks apart like a capsule. Then you say, a grenade in the hand is worth more than two in the bush. That's right, agrees the president. Death of birth, birth of death, birth of death, death of birth. Now the Macintosh apples, engineered with verve, sprout pubic hair, tonsures about their stems. Don't touch me there. And some of you may appreciate that in this poem, when the president says "that's right," it's spelled D-A-T-S space R-I-T-E. This is my Sarah Palin poem. I hope I'm not going to be thrown to the ground after this. We'll see. Poetry throwdown in reality. Everything's a mission field. The prophet is an armadillo. No, the prophet is polyvinyl chloride, pulling the kiss to breaking like taffy. I like America, and America likes me, but watch for images of flags and targets sparking on decoupage newsprint, and those boxes that, if opened, play recorded sounds of their offshore mating. In the modern supermarket, one tends to deny that wombat, pork, and porcupine taste the same. if stewed. Therefore, on deserted beaches, I make love aggressively, yet baroquely, memorial to thousands burned as witches in the Christian era. Brooms blooming, beware, lookers, Annie Oakley could shoot the flames off candles as they rotated on a wheel. This is a poem that was inspired by something that happened, goodness, I think maybe about 20 years ago, which, not just disturbed me, but sort of disturbed all Americans. A woman was raped on top of a pool table by 4 men. I think it happened in Boston. Y'all might remember more accurately, I'm not sure. And 20 men watched this happening. And so I was sort of thinking about what it would take to get past that knowledge and make love and release in light of knowing that story. So this poem is called Rod in Transit. After establishing a supernatural environment, he levitates into my perineum, taste of malt, and over our heads the plasmic seas close up, forgiving that this woman seems beautiful if seen from behind, but is not when viewed from the front, and refuses, like a camel, to produce milk until her nostrils have been tickled. A hymn. She must strive to disremember those ancient Greeks who forced galley slaves to wear collars while grinding corn so that they could not consume it. Women walk, a woman walks into a bar, is raped by 4 men atop a pool table while 20 men watch. Better to shed history and grammar, saboteurs of wonder. More damaging than the strategic deferral of choice is the romance of conviction. Be my maimed doll face, and over our heads the seas feverish, falling fern, falling shoestring, despot, beloved, if you shit a golden egg, be lucky, not prudish, catch it in a pretty cup. Let's see, I think I have one more here. This is about how wonderful it is to have children, because you can just be in the absolute depths of despair, and they often will pull you up out of it, unwittingly, of course. And it's called Nolens Volens, which means unwilling or willing, sort of willy-nilly. Comme ci, comme ça. Nolens Volens. Every nosebleed tastes like a coin, burnt sparrows strewn across pavement, acetone lonesome, forsaken, while everyone else watches, hands off, as Hansel and Gretel struggle to find their lost trail of G-strings. Nero's last words were hairy vetch, and even Mary muttered full Nelson through her final breath. Nevertheless, I will forget and ease toward you so that you will ease toward me. Bra cupping not a TV, but a stain painting that grows blood milk. Balsamic these children continuing. I'm going to read a little bit